So I'm ready.
Hi guys, my name is Nani Mantigela. Welcome to the Nani M podcast. Look at me, I am the YouTube Black Effect. Me, a homie, and today it's my birthday, and this is how I'm spending my birthday. Imagine that. Thank you so very much to YouTube for this opportunity.
So I want us to talk about the first paragraph of the statement of the general, because there is something that is sitting there. If you think about it, you will see Uguti. These things link, they are intertwined, these things, because general, if you see, he is saying from March 2015 to April 2016, he was a head of detectives in Gauteng. During that period, he had a team investigating the Senzo Meyiwa murder case. That case referenced case 636 stroke 10 stroke 2014. When he left, the case was still unsolved. Then he moved to Tembisa cluster as a Tembisa cluster commander. Now, this paragraph matters. At first glance, it looks like harmless background. It's not. It established three critical things. He is claiming early institutional control of the investigation. He is placing himself inside the investigation within months after the murder in 2014. This now was March 2015. That means he is not just a distant officer. He became part of the original investigation chain. That's crucial because if the current case theory, confessions, accused timelines only emerge years later around 2019, 2020 onward, then the defense can ask, why didn't your 2015 to 2016 investigation produce the same version? Two, he admits the case was unsolved under his watch. This is subtle but powerful. When I left, the case was still unsolved. That opens the door to this line of attack. What investigative steps were taken? What evidence existed at that time? Were the current accused ever identified then? If not, the defense can suggest the current version is a reconstruction, not a continuation of the original investigation. Thirdly, it creates a timeline gap. Now compare 2015 to 2016, case unsolved. Years later, detailed confessions plus accused plus narrative. That gap becomes dangerous for the state because the defense can argue the state didn't evolve, it was rebuilt. And that ties directly into a bigger theme. Statements taken after the trial started, witness hearings, hearing things in court, then making statements, allegations around Bongani Gininda, and statement control. Now, the general said, I had a team tasked with the investigation, but no arrest, no solved case, no confirmed suspects at the time based on what we know. So the question becomes, what exactly was the team doing? And more importantly, why does the case only become clearer years later under the different investigative phase? Now, a sharp counsel like Advocate Mshololo can use this paragraph to build one, look at him, lock him into the timeline. You were head of detectives, you had the case, it was unsolved. Step two, contrast this with the current narrative. Today we have accused, confessions, a full story. I don't know if that makes sense. And now, so the version of the case did not exist when you were in charge. That's where reasonable doubt is starting to form. Now, if you look at these things, if general were 2015 or March, mind you, I choose number 3, the one that is said to be the shooter, was arrested February, the 9th of February 2015. And general became head of detectives for March 2015. So that means they did have access to the so-called firearm of accused number 3. They did, it's just that he hasn't mentioned it. Because we do have evidence in court whereby they are saying it was tested. Every firearm was tested. It was tested against this case. So they can't be telling us now, Gucci, accused number 3 is part of the process. Can they now? I think that's one of the questions that Umshololo should be asking, actually. Oh, she's done. Now, re-exam. Re-exam needs to ask that. I don't know about you, but now I feel Uguti, General would have been a proper person to ask those questions when it comes to this case, especially because he worked March 2015 to 2016, April 2016. I think he would have been the best option to ask those questions. Uguti, what was happening in Gauteng? Were they testing the gun? Was there any, what you call, when it comes to firearms, you spoke. In fact, there must be a way of asking that question. There must be a way of asking that question. Please, there has to be a way of asking that question, because General would give a response that is proper. When he comes and tells us, actually, yes, we did test all firearms that came in for 2015, and no firearm was tested that brought. Every firearm that was tested in 2015 was tested against the Senzo Meyiwa case. I think that would work, because Uti, for 2015, he was the head of detectives. And he says investigations are his specialty. I think that would work. Actually, I think that could work. What are your thoughts when it comes to that? Because I feel General can actually shed some light when it comes to this. Now, this will go back to Mangena saying the firearm was never tested against the case. So if there is paper trail, there is in fact paper trail showing that it was tested. Now, if they can also ask General, that will also assist a lot. Anyway, that's all when it comes to this video, because I was like, no, man. If she worked in 2015, what are your thoughts when it comes to this? Let's talk in the comment section. I want to hear your views. Thank you so much. I will see you on our next video. Bye-bye.
My baby, my Valentine, yeah. Boy, now you're making my temperature rise. If you leave me, I go die. I swear, you are like the oxygen I need to survive.